Let me get this straight. For the last 4 years, Xbox Game Pass has been under the microscope of the media and all the detractors. Every single direction you looked, there was always someone questioning Xbox. In fact, some developers also jumped in, piling Rafael Colantonio, Larian's publishing guy, all of them dipping their hands into this whole conversation, purposefully putting blinders on, by the way, when they walk into the conversation like they don't know anything. Oh, could this be sustainable? Could this be good for the industry? While at the same time, the industry is saying Xbox just needs to leave the gaming business. This stuff has now become basically monetizable. So what I'm going to do, and I haven't done this in a while, is I'm going to 15 video this track of thinking. Let's go for it. Number one, Xbox's Game Pass and the potential profitability. Today, I happen to have Detective Seeds right here in front of me. Now, Detective Seeds, shout out to you. Never personally spoken with you, but I think your question and your observation to the response of your question is as a result of these years of constantly questioning Xbox's business directives at every point, while PlayStation is pretty much doing the exact same thing after Xbox takes the heat for it. That's exactly what's going on, because it wasn't after Game Pass showed up with its Ultimate and its regular and its PC, PlayStation went to the tier system with its PlayStation Plus, offering more as you went higher in the tier. It wasn't after Game Pass started putting games day and date that PlayStation, with its highest premium tier, also started putting games day and date to launch on PlayStation. Remember, the criticism used to be, oh, they're putting games day and date, it must be bad for the industry, but that's kind of calmed down. You know, PlayStation is doing it now, so yes, it's calmed down. Look at what I saw here. I thought, man, this is crazy. Detective Seeds said this. I've noticed that when you ask a simple question about Xbox, these dudes lose their effing minds. What is the profitability number of Game Pass, not the revenue number? Okay, Detective Seeds, why not go and do an analysis to calculate what it is? Xbox does not give that number, publicly. Can you deduce something close? Yes, you can. This isn't 5th grade. I mean, bro, we're grown. You mean to tell me that we grown adults cannot look at situations and deduce via street smarts and mathematics? Are you freaking kidding me? You mean to tell me you got $20 in your wallet, you're driving to Walmart, and you cannot estimate what you can buy and what you may not be able to afford with a $20 bill? Yet, you already have TweetTown showing you Game Pass subscriber numbers as they leaked a long time ago. When the Brazilian Economic Commission was doing their paperwork and their report, they accidentally went ahead and threw it out there that Game Pass had brought in $2.9 billion. Game World Observer picked it up from TweetTown, where Derek Strickland, after having seen this before they went ahead and corrected their own documents, he was able to basically run the numbers. Let's just divide 2.9 billion, and it came out to be around 21 million subscribers, and this was console only. You already had a number there. Sarah Bond came out and says, oh, our 34 million Game Pass subscribers after converting Core. That should have given you a good picture of what Core's estimate was and what Game Pass was. At the time, everybody calculated it to be close to $3-point-something billion. Satya comes out to, yesterday and says, hey, it's now close to $5 billion. You can run the math. You know how much bread costs. You know how much egg costs. You can look it up on your phone, even if you're not certain. Remember back in the day, ladies and gentlemen, you used to know how much milk and egg cost as you used to memorize phone numbers back in the day. What is going on? Have we gotten so lazy that journalists are no longer wanting to do what journalists are supposed to be doing? And you don't even have to be a mathematician these days to report accurate figures. You just have to be able to find anything and be able to put 1 and 2 together and come out with 3. However, this constant concern trolling has now basically reached a tipping point. And so when he says that these people are losing their minds, it's because these people have basically had to sit on a platform where everybody else has questioned why they sit on that platform. It's kind of absurd. If I was an Xbox player, I would be frustrated too. And I'm not even an Xbox player, and I'm already frustrated. And I even get basically ad revenue from doing this, and yet I'm still frustrated. I can't imagine having, when those people come with the PC stuff. This is why PC gamers went after PlayStation gamers last year with the PS4 Pro. We don't give you any room. The Xbox guys are very nice. That's why y'all keep doing this. Every time you've come to PC, we've borne you naked, sent you running, right? Which you basically clasping your hand over your and running away because you're a fraud in many cases. Not saying you, Detective Seeds, just telling you what the frustration and where it's coming from and what I've seen. Now, look at what I did. When he put this post, he said, you'll get a lot of, it's profitable, you idiot. It's funding 25 AAA games per year, but not one person can say, here is a profit number. Nobody has given a number because they don't know. So if you know that they don't know, why don't you go find out? There's nothing wrong in deductive reasoning. It's actually a skill that's taught. So you know what I did? I said, all right, Detective Seeds, I can understand you're frustrated with the Xbox gamer since they won't give you the data that they don't have. Why not just do the hard work and deduce from financials a cost based on statements made? You can use an AI model to basically calculate this stuff, and you will get a ballpark. You're not going to get pinpoint accuracy. Do you know why you're going to get a very good idea of what in the world Game Pass is actually doing in terms of its potential profits? It's because everything that Game Pass is doing is actually right here in front of every single one of you to see, meaning the games are all right here. You can literally count the games, throw a number on any given one, go look at the sales, go estimate. They just told you the other day that Xbox was giving $50 million per game or whatever it is. There are articles everywhere. Collate the data and do the hard work. Put these Xbox fanboys to shame if that's how you feel, or just let an AI model do it for you. I literally just asked Grok right underneath the same tweet. I said, Grok, with the available info online, subscriber counts, cost, revenue, etc., can you estimate Game Pass's profit margin? It's just an estimate. I won't hold you to pinpoint accuracy. Grok replies, the AI module, language-based model on Twitter. It says, based on Microsoft fiscal year 25 earnings, Game Pass generated nearly $5 billion in annual revenue with about approximately 35 million subs. Per recent reports, estimating costs at $3 to $4 billion for content infrastructure marketing, profit margin is roughly 20 to 40%. This assumes some first-party attribution, exact profitability isn't public. So you can take 20%, Detective Seeds, you can take 40%. It is all up to you. At this point in time, these people want to start insinuating somewhere, somehow, that Game Pass is spending $5 billion, that Xbox is spending $5 billion on Game Pass. Because the reason they're asking for this profit margin is simply because they realize that this thing has actually grown way wilder than many people had predicted. If I see anybody that basically downplayed Game Pass ask about profitability, I'm going to make a video addressing that. Simply because I can go on their platform channel and find a downplaying flatline isn't growing video about Game Pass. Because many of them were spouting it. They never ran the numbers. They never ran the math. They never paid attention to what the press was reporting. The Activision Blizzard thing opened up this data for every single one of us, and not a single one of these people cared enough to even go look at it. They were like, well, that was then. How about now? Well, this number of 3 billion has now added an extra billion over the last 4 years, a 72% increase in revenue. And then when Christopher Drink was digging, saying, oh, they weren't adding first party, and then to come back to say, oh, they're adding their first party games, even if they added it, it's still going to be profitable, and they're not adding it. So how then can you go ahead and assess via the information that somewhere, somehow, there's still some cloud over the profitability of this thing without you wanting to do the math? So here's the thing. For people like Detective Seeds, or whoever it is, it's either you don't know or you don't care to know. Because if you did care to know, you'd go find out. Imagine if you cared enough and you have a YouTube channel. If I were to ask you, what is your 48 hourly view count? You'd find out, or you'd know. If you really are interested in Game Pass's profitability, you'd find out as well. That's just how it needs to be. Nobody's got to tell you anything, right? No one's obligated to tell you anything. In fact, if anything, Xbox gamers these days, I can now understand how you guys have basically gotten through ounces and ounces and pounds and tons of frustration because these guys just won't let up. Take it how you want. Xbox is here to destroy all of the hegemony that Nintendo and PlayStation has programmed many of you gamers with. In fact, I'm interviewing a gamer right now who told me that they'll never play Spider-Man on an Xbox because of the feel that it has. A load of nonsense, by the way, because I was just asking the question, just looking and saying, look at this. And you know, when you can spot nonsense from miles away. I finally asked them a question. They haven't responded. Maybe they haven't gotten to it. And we're going to talk about it in the video because, again, some of you PlayStation fanboys, you guys are quite amazing. You don't seem to have enough games to play, or you don't have anything else that's interesting to do. Because some of the things that y'all actually put out here, man, it's got to be the most fantastical things I've ever seen. Comment section, talk to me. Peace out.